So how do you travel around Winnipeg?
Well, I actually ride my bike quite a lot not in the winter season, but the rest of the year I try to ride my bike as much as possible to work and around the downtown and to meetings and whatnot. And it really brings me a lot of pleasure. So I've basically become a big advocate for cycling in the last, I guess, 7 years or so since it started with Bike to Work Day when I got on a bike and I just decided it just touched me and I really got into it. And I just love it. And I think we have to do more to make it better for people to do that, to make that choice. I also do support public transit very strongly as well. And I think we need to invest more in that as well.
So why do you think a lot of people are afraid to ride on Winnipeg streets?
Well, we don't have, we could have a lot better cycling infrastructure. Cars and bikes are not separated. There's very few separated bike lanes. There are some new bike facilities that have been put in the last few years, which are great, and that those small steps we've taken already have served to get more people like me, who were initially cautious and scared to ride. Those things have gotten us on our bikes and on the road, but you still notice, all the gaps and all the need to make it better. And I visited other cities a lot, like, for example, Minneapolis, which is one of the most cycling-friendly cities in North America. And, you see what they have. We could do a lot more here. You come back with a lot of ideas of what we could do here. Montreal, other places. Vancouver is another place that I've spent a bit of time. And you just realize it's so comfortable and you feel so safe because you have a separate lane or a really well-marked lane or something like that. And that's not to minimize what we've done here, because I think we've done a lot, but I think we could do a lot more.
What do you think council can do in the next 4 years to make Winnipeg bike friendly?
Well, we need to dedicate funding to improving the bike infrastructure, separated bike lanes, much more of that. We're starting to do that. For example, there's going to be the first parking protected bike lane in West Broadway on the Sherbrooke bike path, which is something that I've worked on. And it's exciting. I think we'll see how that example works, but it certainly works in New York City in a fantastic way. So you're not having the conflict between taking away people's parking and you're keeping the cycling protected and safer. So, there's so much we can do. I also think good planning is key. I was a strong supporter of the strategy for pedestrian and cycling, which was almost canceled or was canceled and then was put back on track. We really need to have proper planning and forethought and look at best practices with our active transportation infrastructure. And then you're not wasting the money you're investing, you're spending it on something that's well thought out, is in the right place. A big part of that is the prioritization, making sure we have those connections so that it'll benefit the most people. I also think we haven't focused enough on commuter cycling. It's been a little bit more on the recreational stuff is great and it's wonderful. There's lots of places to do that, but we want to get people out of their cars and having the option to go to work. So I've kind of become, this is really one of the issues that I feel really passionately about. I actually believe it's more than just about transportation. I come from a nursing background. It's about health. It's about quality of life. It's about happiness. And it's about dealing with climate change, which we also have tended to ignore too much. So it can easily be part of our infrastructure, our capital budgets, and the things that the city does. And we will notice the benefit, the economic benefit, the health benefits, the quality of life benefits, because when people feel comfortable, more people will ride. And that's what you see in places where they've invested in the infrastructure. The people are getting on the bikes, and it's reducing congestion and all those things.
What would it take to make Winnipeg bike friendly year round?
Well, and that's another issue, is we are a winter city, but when you see the Norwegian, the Scandinavian countries, you see places like Minneapolis, these are winter cities, Edmonton, and they are doing more towards that. Calgary, they're working towards that, plowing in the winter. But if you do need to have separated lanes, more of them for commuting, if people are going to ride in the winter. I know, like right now, I'm one of the most avid cyclists I know compared to most people I know, and I'm not riding in the winter. I'm not comfortable because you see the snow packed on the road, you see the cars going, what's the cyclist doing there? So really we have to have the infrastructure and the plowing combined to increase winter cycling.